Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world, and even with all of the information out on the internet, it's still difficult to imagine what Jeff Bezos spends his money on. Well, in this video, we'll be going through the life of Jeff Bezos and finding out what he spends his billions on. Jeff was a pretty mysterious man before he rose to fame. Even when he was the CEO of Amazon, for a while he wasn't really known. But as he started gaining more money and becoming in the headlines more often, we've been able to know a lot more information about Jeff Bezos. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and comment what you would buy with Jeff's billions. Growing up. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico on January 12, 1964 to Jacqueline and Ted Jorgensen. After his parents divorced, his mother remarried and then the family moved to Houston, Texas. Bezos often displayed scientific interests and technological proficiency, and once he rigged an electric alarm to keep his younger siblings out of his room. The family then moved to Miami, Florida, and Bezos attended the Student Science Training Program at the University of Florida. He graduated from Princeton University with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering. Life. After Bezos graduated from Princeton University in 1986, he first worked at fintech telecommunications startup where he was tasked with building a network for the international trade. Bezos was promoted to head of development and director of customer service thereafter. Bezos opened Amazon.com on July 16, 1995 after asking 300 friends to beta test his site. In the months leading up to launch, a few employees began developing software with Bezos in his garage. The initial success of the company was meteoric. With no press promotion, Amazon.com sold books across the United States and in 45 countries within 30 days, so the company could hold its own when traditional retailers launched their own e-commerce sites. 2 years later, the startup not only kept up, but also outpaced its competitors, becoming an e-commerce leader. Money. Bezos has homes across the U.S. His home base, a lake house in Medina, Washington, is estimated to be worth $25 million. Neighbors include the number 2 richest guy in the world, Bill Gates. In Washington, D.C., Bezos owns a 27,000 square foot home that, with a purchase price of $23 million, according to the Washington Post, is the most expensive house in the fancy Kalorama neighborhood. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama bought the second most expensive house in the enclave last year, with Ivanka Trump also a neighbor. Bezos' mansion was formerly a museum. This took only 0.13% of his overall wealth away, which is really nothing if you think about it, as he paid $165 million on a Beverly Hills mansion in February of this year. Bezos also owns homes in Seattle, Texas, and as we know, Washington, D.C. Bezos is starting the fund with a $10 billion contribution, which at 7.7% of his net worth makes his real estate acquisition look like small change. Elon Musk's SpaceX and Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic are famous for their otherworldly missions. But space travel is a passion for Jeff Bezos too. He founded aerospace company Blue Origin to make space tourism more affordable. Blue Origin reportedly plans to start selling tickets for a test space flight by next year, with passengers likely to pay at least $200,000 per ticket. Seattle Times. NASA donated a restored F-1 booster to the Museum of Flight in Seattle in 2015 at the CEO's request. Alongside building a space program, he himself does have some expensive vehicles. For example, he owns a top-of-the-line $65 million private jet, the 2015 Gulfstream G650ER, via his holding company, Poplar Glen. The model is the longest-range business jet and has a top speed of Mach 0.925, which is 956 kilometers an hour as high-speed cruise and 904 kilometers an hour as long-range cruise. Bezos Expeditions has invested in businesses including Workday and Twitter. The estimated value of Bezos' stake in Bezos Expeditions is at least $880 million. Bezos himself has invested in the likes of Airbnb, Uber, and Google, among many others. The CEO also has Nash Holdings LL3, through which the Washington Post was acquired for a reported $250 million. As well as helping bankroll big names, he and his now ex-wife Mackenzie donated more to charity in 2018 than anyone else in the world. They spent $2 billion via the Bezos Day One Fund to boost nonprofits. and granted stay in the country under the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. And in September, he gave $10 million to a nonpartisan super PAC that works to elect military veterans to office. It would appear that Bezos' latest and most significant philanthropic effort is the culmination of a request he made in 2017 when he posted a tweet asking for ideas for areas of focus for his future charitable spending. In June, Bezos followed up on that request with another tweet announcing that he'd identified 2 areas of focus and that he would reveal them before the end of summer. Now it seems like Bezos has settled on using part of his fortune to help homeless families and to establish preschools in low-income communities, as Bezos has donated to charities including Mary's Place, which supports homeless people in Seattle. Bezos also donated $2.7 million to the University of Washington Foundation in 2013, $2.5 million to Washington United from Marriage in 2012, and $15 million to Princeton University. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss an upload.